We are back into Great League, and today we're gonna showcase a Ninetales team. So Ninetales is gonna be up in front, while at the back both Diggersby and the amazing Shadow Drapion will form our backline. So we're having a lot of action today with not the charm version of Ninetales, but instead its Powder Snow version, because I have a feeling that the ice moves are gonna be much needed on the current state of Great League. So let's see what we have here, since we are gonna be able to go pretty rough up against this Toxicroak. However, Toxicroak will not be appreciated by our backline, so I'm pretty glad that we can counter it right here up in front. So when both shields are down, Diggersby can absolutely go to town, even against a water type like Empoleon, because not only we can tank those moves, but also we can deliver that finishing blow with the Earthquake. The reason I did not throw immediately when I was on the Earthquake is because I knew that Venusaur could eventually come back and they could farm down, so I did not want them to farm a lot of energy. I wanted to farm as much, as less actually, as they could. So with that in mind now, my Ninetales can go in, tank that remaining energy that this Venusaur is having, because they're kind of obliged in using their energy immediately, and right after we have the upper hand with Drapion over here. So Toxicroak returns, hopefully we can farm down, they know that and they back out. Let's see now what we have into the next battle, because we're facing the Medicham up in front. So Medicham is always pretty tricky for teams like this, because even against my Powder Snow version of Ninetales, if they can land the Psychic, things can turn towards their side. So I will try to go here for the bait, it is gonna work, and right after we can still keep going with our moves. As it seems, we're getting super close to another one, this time another Weather Ball, and they're just gonna pop the shield, which is pretty nice. And my Ninetales now can easily block the next move and try to finish them off with a Dazzle. Instead, they manage to switch out to their Lantern, and this is looking pretty good for me. As you're seeing, my Diggersby here doesn't have a lot of excels invested in it, but still it is gonna be kinda high on that CP and that level for Great League, so we can definitely tank those serfs, no biggie at all, and we can simply farm down in the process, which is pretty neat. However, at the back they have a Pokemon like Noctowl, which can just wall us down, so this is one of the few scenarios that you might want to run something like a Hyper Beam on your Diggersby if you want to have access to coverage against Pokemon like Noctowl. Anyways, Noctowl here is gonna go down to the double Weather Ball, big damage on that Pokemon, and right after, before we get farmed down, I'm just gonna throw another cheap Weather Ball to bring them to the red section bar of HP. Earthquake is already ready to go, and that is gonna secure my victory for this battle. Diggersby is an amazing closer, I like it a lot, and most people tend to have a steel type at the back, but on this incident they had the Medicham returning as their closer from a leader, so definitely an all-around Pokemon. So another Medicham up in front. Once again I'm just gonna go for the Weather Ball bait, and we're gonna see now that we can try to catch one Psychic on our Drapion. So I was able to do that because they were over farming a lot, and I had the feeling that they had to throw. That was not my initial plan, but when I saw them over farming so much, I had the feeling that the next counter will be the one that they're gonna throw their energy, so I just went for the switch, and that's why we got that Psychic with this on our Shadow Drapion. So as it seems here, we're gonna go down to this Noctowl, but it's still fine, because with Noctowl out of the way, perhaps now our Diggersby can be on a very good spot towards the end of this battle. We can safely farm down here without them spending any more energy to threat our shields, and now Dazzle might just one shot down this poor Medicham. We can still go ahead and reach to another Dazzling before they farm us down. This is looking super good for us, but at the back they have another Flyer, and if you're thinking, Ganeto, what are you gonna do now? Everything that you're gonna throw is gonna be resisted. Well, think again, because we are super bulky, we can tank the hits, even a whole Blast Burn at this range, but instead they go for that Dragon Claw, and right after we can have the shield and the double nuke with those Earthquakes to still threat them out of existence with a Charizard on the end game. Here comes the final move, trainers, and down goes the Charizard to the double Earthquake. Even though it is resisted, Charizard is super classy that it cannot withstand the damage at all. Into the next one now, and we're having the Deoxys up on the lead. So Deoxys can be pretty tricky, I admit it, especially if they have the move Rock Slide. If they do not, they still can provide a solid match-up against my Pokemon. So let's see what they want to do here, because as it seems they do not have Rock Slide at all. Of course, we landed one Dazzling and I want to switch out into my Drapion. Most of those Deoxys are just gonna stay until you reach to the crunch, and because I know that I can take advantage of the situation, still reach to the Aqua Tail threat for the easy shield, and after the overfarm a lot, now they're gonna bring Noctowl into battle. So down we go to that Sky Attack, but now we can easily go in with our Ninetales, and this is why I like this team. The backline can draw out of there those Noctowls with this, so that you can then finish it off with your Ninetales, and right after your Diggersby can be on a very good spot overall. I know it's a weird strategy, but it works. So this trainer now has a Diggersby with quick attack up against us. I'm not quite familiar with this matchup, to be honest. Even on Sylph I did not try it at all. So let's see how this is gonna unfold, because quick attack might do a little bit more damage than our Mudshot, so they might have the upper hand, but I'm not sure at all. I was expecting the shield here, to be honest. I went for the bait, but right after I'm just gonna get to my Earthquake, as it seems this trainer will still let it go through, thinking that this is another bait, but all I have to do here is to farm down with those Mudshots, and I know that anything that they're gonna throw can absolutely be taken with our Diggersby, so that is gonna be another great win for our team. So yeah, the Araquanid battle, so this is gonna take a while to unfold, and you're gonna see that this Araquanid is a pretty neat core breaker for my team. I cannot throw now my Dazzling, this is gonna be just a waste of energy after that first debuff, so I want to switch out into my Drapion. I know that before they debuff me with another move, I can go for that Crunch, which can be pretty neat, and right here after they go for the debuff, they're gonna switch out, and we are here switch locked against this Medicham. Good news is that we can still reach to back-to-back moves and still bring this Medicham pretty low, and that's why I enjoy using my Shadow Drapion a lot. This Pokemon can be pretty crucial against most situations, and Medicham is one of those few. If we didn't have the debuff, we could perhaps go for the knockout here, which is also pretty neat. So anyways, let's see what we got here, since Weather Ball now is most likely gonna knock out this poor Medicham. At the back they have a Bastiodon, and we do not have the best alignment ever. However, if we can block the back bass at some point, we might have the upper hand. All I want to do here is to stall a little bit more, since my switch timer is coming up and I can clear all that debuff for sure. So I'm just gonna go with those fire punches, and eventually I might hit them with the Earthquake, because as it seems they want to take all those moves and perhaps rely on Bastiodon for the end game. So as it seems here, I have to block because they have overfarmed a lot, and the shield will be up on the back bass, which is pretty neat. Now I'm gonna switch out to my Ninetales, and it doesn't matter at all even if they farm me down with that Bastiodon, because now I have so much energy to spare, and of course I can overfarm even more up to a point that I get to the Earthquake and perhaps super close to another move, the Fire Punch, so that we can finish off Araquanid now with this after clearing all those debuffs. So this battle was pretty crucial, and this battle was finally won by my team, so Diggersby definitely an all-star for this line. So up into the next one, we're having a very bad lead for this team. We have nothing to switch in there to other than our Shadow Drapion. I cannot reveal yet my Diggersby, and even Diggersby can still struggle against Dunsparce because everything is gonna be neutral. However, I know that Drapion can still handle the damage from one Drill Run, and we can pressure for those shields. Good news here is that we have applied the debuff finally, and Ninetales now can go in, immediately get to the Weather Ball before they reach to a Rock Slide for super effective damage, keeping those two shields alive, and we have two healthy Pokemon remaining at the back. So as it seems here, they have an Azumarill, and Azumarill can be scary if they carry the move Hydro Pump at this point, so we have to respect the damage, I believe. So I'm just gonna go for the shield, and they end up having Hydro Pump. Even at this point I totally forgot about it. So here comes now another Dazzling to finish off the Azu. Down they go, still have the shield, but at the back there is gonna be the Charizard. That's why they want to keep at least one shield alive for the end game, and of course we can take advantage of that and go with back-to-back moves, back-to-back Weather Balls. I know that even if they get to the Dragon Claw, this will not be enough to knock me out, since I am gonna be a Fairy type Pokemon resisting by a lot of those Dragon moves. And speaking of Dragon moves, here is a Dragonite up on the lead for the final match trainers. So this is obviously a very good battle for our team, but on the Switch we are met up with Medicham, and what did I tell you? Shadow Drapion is an amazing Pokemon and on a completely whole new level than the regular form, because those crunches are still gonna do a lot of damage on the opponent. Able to grab the shield here, and even though we're gonna go down to this Ice Punch, it doesn't matter at all because we can still take advantage of the remaining HP that they have and bring them to no HP in no time with those Weather Balls. They want to block, which makes me think that whatever there is at the back might also be weak to my Ninetales here, and they have a Ferrothorn, so the battle is not over yet, but all we have to do is to just rely on our Ninetales, which is the main star of this team. You already know that. This is the Pokemon on the thumbnail after all, and now the Weather Balls will just connect for back to back damage all the time, a rampage of attacks, and they are already on the red. I went for the great there because my phone fell off my hands at some point, but it doesn't matter now. Dragonite can go in, even though they are Shadow, those Dragon Tails deal no damage at all, and we can still finish them off without revealing Diggersby at all. So that is gonna be a great ending to this video. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and perhaps consider subscribing to my channel if you are new to my content. Over here I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.